All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And today we're finally going to do my top 10 niche gourmand fragrances on my channel. I know I promised you guys to do my top 10 oud fragrances, but that one unfortunately is taking me longer than I thought, and I'm still working on that list. As you all know, I'm a perfectionist and I want it to be perfect, so it's taking me longer, but once I get it done, I promise I will definitely post it for you guys as soon as possible. But today we're going to do my top 10 niche gourmand fragrances. Initially, I had 20 of them, but I broke it down into 10. And if this video goes well and you guys end up liking it, I will definitely do a part 2 as well. Now, for this list, I made sure that I selected some versatile gourmand scents, which means that some of them are very edible, very delicious, very sweet, and some of them are semi-gourmand. Even some of you guys might say these are not really gourmand, but they're gourmand. But anyways, the first one that we're going to talk about, it's from one of my favorite houses out there, which I pretty much own all their fragrances, which is going to be Fragrance du Bois, which they recently launched a new fragrance called Voyage à Paris. All right, so the first one, as I mentioned, is going to be Voyage à Paris. Now, this one is an amber woody fragrance that was launched to celebrate the 10-year anniversary of Fragrance du Bois, which is an homage to Paris, hence called Voyage à Paris. Now, this is definitely a Parisian gourmand French style, but definitely very modern kind of a scent, and smells really good. This one gets tons of compliments. And I have to say, when I smelled this, I was like, okay, they're coming back with some really great fragrances, because recently they've been releasing some fragrances, and all of them, they've been phenomenal. And this one blew me right out the water. I mean, when I sprayed this and I started testing it, I was getting so many compliments that I was like, okay, I definitely have to include this in my top 10 gourmand fragrances. So this one, you will get a lot of compliments with it. It's not too gourmand, it's not too cloying sweet, but it's perfectly balanced gourmand kind of a scent. First of all, I don't know if you guys noticed, Fragrance du Bois has changed their design of their bottles a little bit. They have these edges now that they go to the top. I really like the new design. And man, this, I cannot stop smelling this because it's so well done. It's very beautiful. And what have we got here for notes? Top notes, we have rum, we got orange blossom, we got tijé, which is a flower that is in the same family as marigold. And in the mid, you have jasmine, delicious honey, which is not too realistic. And then davana with a base of tamed oud, which is not skanky whatsoever. It actually makes it very sophisticated. And then you have the delicious vanilla extract and some oak fusion as well. Again, this is going to be a mild gourmand in the sense of it being a little boozy with that honey and vanilla note at play. Now, the honey has been done in a very sophisticated perfume usable way, which is not too realistic. So you're not going to smell straight up like honey. Also, there is this roasted nutty warmth to it, which completes the scent in a cozy, fashionable way, but yet sophisticated and sexy at the same time. So it is mainly a very woody and ambery scent, but with a nice dose of booze and florals as well, which again makes it elegant and cozy at the same time. Definitely picturing myself wearing this and sitting at a nice Parisian cafe, eating a nice fluffy chocolate croissant and sipping on a warm espresso. The roasted nuttiness accord definitely makes me think of croissant and coffee. All right, so next one is going to be another new release from the House of Parfums de Marly, which is going to be Altair, another woody vanilla amber scent with that Parfum de Marly DNA, a fragrance that embodies the festive, cozy, and Christmassy vibes, yet remains sophisticated and crowd-pleasing. God, this is so addictive, you guys. I really fell in love with this one. Initially, when I got it, I wasn't a big fan of it. But as I started wearing this, I fell in love with this. It has such an addictive dry down. Now, as far as the notes goes, on top you have orange blossom, you got bergamot, you got delicious cinnamon and cardamom. And in the heart, you got beautiful bourbon, delicious vanilla, LME resin, and finally in the base you have guaiac wood, you got ambroxan, which adds some airiness to the fragrance as well, and also carries the longevity of Altahir, and then you got lots of musk as well. So Altahir is definitely an overdose of bourbon vanilla, and it's definitely an airy vanillic kind of a fragrance. Yeah, you guys, this opens up very bright. The bergamot, what I notice in here, it's very creamy. It has this very creamy, citrusy opening with a smooth, subdued cinnamon accord, which is done very tastefully. Although you do get a cozy, festive vibe from the scent, it is definitely very gourmand due to the bourbon and praline, which they create this warm, rich, and slightly sweet scent. Yeah, that bourbon note definitely makes Altahir. The bourbon definitely creates this reminiscent of the barrel-aged spirit. It can contribute to notes of vanilla, caramel, and sometimes a hint of smokiness, adding depth and complexity, which you can definitely get some nutty smokiness in the dry down of Altahir, which I never heard of anyone talking about it. I watch a lot of reviews and everybody just concentrated on how vanillic this fragrance is, but nobody ever talked about the dry down, how addictive that barrel age makes this fragrance and how gives it that roasted, warm, smoky nuttiness, which the smokiness is very well tamed. So Altahir is a warm, spicy, sweet, vanillic, cinnamony, and powdery fragrance. It is very musky as well, and there's this airiness to it which stops it from becoming a cloying sweet type of a scent. So it is a delicious, beautiful, gourmand, woody, vanilla amber scent that is definitely balsamic. It is very smooth, very well rounded, and the ambroxan makes it last for a very long time on your skin. All right, so next we got Mashimaro from the House of Unique Luxury. Now this one made a quite impression in the fragrance community because of its beautiful, realistic, toasted marshmallow scent. It just has that toasted marshmallow on a campfire kind of a smell that is just to die for. Very delicious. And I remember initially when I got this, God, I cannot stop smelling this. This is so good. Yeah, initially when I got this, I was like, okay, this one will be a hit fragrance. And it became a hit fragrance. A lot of people love this. It has pretty much everything that you could ask for in a gourmand fragrance. It is delicious. It is playful, edible, yet very powerful, long-lasting. It has an enormous sillage. Even though it's playful, yet it's very sophisticated and very classy at the same time. There are some notes in here that are mixed to kind of balance out the scent, which one of them is rose that we're going to talk about. But it's such a well-created kind of a scent that made it so famous within a very short period of time, and it went in the Hall of Fame of gourmand fragrances. God, this is so delicious, you guys. Oh, I could literally eat this. It's just so amazing, so well done, very beautiful. You guys, Mashimaro is very spicy. It is a spicy, milky, toasted, super sweet marshmallow scent like s'mores, as I mentioned earlier. It is rich, sweet, gourmand, and delicious. But what is so interesting about Mashimaro, even though it is a sweet fragrance, the spicy opening with some hints of almost green lavender balances out that sweetness and stops it from becoming a cloying, synthetic smelling type of a perfume. God, you also get this chocolatey, caramel, praline-like kind of a smell that adds to the gourmandness of Mashimaro and accompanies that roasted marshmallow smell really nicely. There is a big dose of vanilla in this, which is counterpointed by this woody, spicy, balmy, musky cashmere wool-like texture, which balances out the fragrance. Alright, you guys, so all in all, what you get with Mashimaro, it is a gorgeous, sweet, ambery, musky, powdery, balsamic, woody, with delicious roasted marshmallow smell, followed by caramel and some faint smokiness with a touch of beautiful rose in the background. Alright, you guys, so next we're delving into the enchanting universe of Katana Parfum, an artisanal house that has secured its place among my favorites in 2023. Within their Oriental collection, one fragrance has resonated loudly within the fragrance community, showcasing a truly distinctive DNA, none other than Haal by Katana Parfum. Oh my God, this is just incredible. It is so aromatic, it's so beautiful, it's so delicious, so realistic, very complex, unbelievable. Just incredible, you guys. God, this is another scent that I could literally eat. And look at the color of the juice. It looks like the juice of saffron, like they use in Persian foods. It looks exactly like that, just very beautiful. And the bottles are just gorgeous. Yeah, so as far as the notes goes, you have Lily of the Valley, you got jasmine, you got white floral notes, you have vanilla extract, you got tonka bean, and a beautiful exotic bold amber quartz. So there's not a lot of notes in here, but when you smell it, it's such a complex, deep, aromatic, yet delicious gourmand kind of a scent. All right, so Haal, which became one of the best sellers of this Oriental collection, which means dream in Arabic, is a masterfully created high quality jasmine, amber, and tonka bean. By the way, they're all natural. I was blown away by the quality of jasmine in here. So this is for jasmine lovers. Anyone that loves jasmine fragrances, this fragrance is a dream. And also how he achieved this interesting, fluffy, puffy jasmine basmati rice note that gives this warmth to the scent by using these notes without the usage of synthetic rice note. I just don't get enough from this. Again, this is a beautiful, realistic, delicious of cooked jasmine basmati rice, which smells very unique and out of this world. Again, here you definitely get a big dose of sweet white florals on the opening, but there exists an intriguing warmth reminiscent of a freshly prepared fluffy basmati rice note. I have to say this is probably the most beautiful, delicious, gourmand jasmine fragrance that I have ever smelled. Next, I got another exotic deliciousness by the House of Tiziani Terenzi, Shiron. Now, this one is absolutely a gourmand beast. It was released a while back, but I discovered it this year, and it is named after the brightest comet in the solar system. This is a vanilla-centered composition with delicious sensuality and warmth. You guys, this is another addictive kind of a scent, very beautiful. I'm telling you, this list is unbelievable. God, this is so boozy as well. It's very well done. Delicious. So, as I mentioned, you got some interesting combination of notes in this woody vanilla gourmand scent. In the top notes, interestingly, you have tonka bean. It is interesting because usually you don't have tonka bean in your top notes. You have vanilla orchid, and then also you got musk in your top notes. So it's very interesting the way it's structured. And then in the middle notes, you have tobacco and sensual ambergris. Again, ambergris usually is used in the base as well. And finally, in the base, you have bourbon vanilla, Palo Santo, sandalwood, and white oud. You guys, Shiron opens uniquely with this ripe banana sweetness, akin to floral vanillic notes mingled with oud. It presents a colorful, fruity/floral sweetness countered by a bitter, somewhat animalic facet from the oud. Overall, it evokes a dried fruity banana, honey tobacco with a touch of animalic and salty oceanic muskiness, likely thanks to ambergris. But as it settles on your skin, the bright, delicious solar vanilla reveals itself. It is sweet, deep, warm, sensual, and colorful because of the unusual fruity notes that are mingling in the background. There's some fruity notes which they feel cooked and warm, which is not listed anywhere. But I can definitely smell it. And it makes the fragrance so interesting, specifically when it opens up on your skin. Now, the serene smoothness of sandalwood, which is so milky and powdery, intertwines with the smoky essence of Palo Santo, creating this roasted, addictive aroma when fused with the hazy and leafy notes of tobacco. All right, so Shiron is definitely a gourmand, delicious, vanilla-based beauty that smells sweet, floral, ambery, along with tobacco, woody, musky, balsamic, and powdery accords. All right, so next we have another delicious tobacco scent from the house of L'Orgue Parfum, Nectar Cachette. Now, not that the previous one was really a tobacco scent. Chiron was more of like a vanilla scent, a very delicious one. And this one is kind of like that, but not with vanilla, with something else. So L'Orgue Parfum certainly infused this tobacco scent with a gourmand twist. Instead of the actual tobacco note, God, this is so delicious. Oh my God, I haven't smelled this in a while. Jeez, this is really good too. Very delicious. So instead of the actual tobacco note, you distinctly experience more of the gourmand elements in this fragrance. God, this is truly delicious. And looking at the notes, on top you have delicious dates and candied fruits. In the middle you have a big dose of realistic, syrupy, dripping, photorealistic, I should say, instead of realistic, honey. And then you have saffron and jasmine. And finally, in the base, you have tobacco, delicious vanilla, and some leather to balance out or counterpoint all these gourmand elements. So it is a warm, comforting gourmand scent that is absolutely unique. All right, so when you spray Nectar Cachette on your skin, you realize that it is a very sweet kind of a scent. And you would literally say it is more of a honey fragrance, or honey with a mild tobacco kind of a vibe to it. Because as I mentioned, the honey is way more prominent than the tobacco note. But I also can definitely smell the dried fruits along with the delicious date note. And of course, the tobacco in here, which makes it cozy, comforting, and warm type of a scent. And what I love about the honey in here is that the honey is very sticky, sugary, dripping, which makes it very photorealistic. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not all about the sweetness and, syrupy and overly cloying honey note or anything like that, because you also get this bittersweet, leathery, soft, and intimate with earthy nuances, which must be saffron and also leather. So there's this also white floral, opulent, indolic, and fresh note, which must be from jasmine, which kind of gives some space or creates some kind of a airiness to the fragrance. Now, this is a unique honey, sweet, fruity scent that settles on a leather, tobacco, and vanilla base. Next, we have a ravishing gourmand scent from the house of EBK, Deep in Desire. This one was definitely a very pleasant discovery of mine this year, which I fell head over heels for this delicious, sophisticated, complex, multifaceted gourmand scent. Deep in Desire, interestingly, has been inspired by the biggest and most expensive yacht in the world called History Supreme, which is built from 10,000 kilograms of solid gold. Now, don't ask me how they created a gourmand scent that's supposed to represent this expensive yacht, but to each their own. All right, so initially when I got Deep in Desire, when I was opening the box, as I opened the box, I could literally smell the scent. I'm like, God, this is so strong. Is it leaking? And I looked around, I'm like, no, it's not, but I can totally smell the scent. So it's very strong. And as I opened up the cap, it was literally like I sprayed it. It's that powerful, and I can totally smell it right now. And God, it's so delicious, you guys. It's just so yummy. This is so delicious, yummy, edible, yet very sophisticated, sexy at the same time. Just incredible piece of art, just unbelievable. All right, so Deep in Desire smells like a freshly baked, juicy, realistic blueberry muffin, just like the color of the bottle. It is absolutely delicious and aromatic. It has this creamy, juicy, freshly baked, fluffy, and warm undertones that makes the scent the most realistic gourmand scent in this list. So it is very addictive and has an intoxicating smell that embraces you with a rich and classy aura of sophistication. So you got some very interesting notes in Deep in Desire, which are very exotic, like black grapes, grapefruit peels, camellia tea, hazelnut, bergamot, cedarwood, dark chocolate, and some other notes that I don't remember. But I remember that the notes are very exotic. So from the notes, you can see that it is a quiet, delicious, unique, and exotic fragrance. Deep in Desire is a powerhouse and it lasts on your skin forever. And I mean forever. I mean, when I sprayed it and I probably did like spray it in the morning and it lasts on my skin all day long, and I went to sleep and the next day it was projecting crazy off my skin all day long. So it is one of those fragrances that it just lasts for a very long time, and I could easily say that this one is the strongest scent on this list. Now, I don't want you to think because it's such a powerhouse, it's going to be a monotonic kind of a perfume. Deep in Desire is actually a very complex kind of a scent. It's multifaceted as well because of the fact that it morphs. So as I mentioned, it opens up as a warm, fruity, sweet, freshly baked blueberry muffin with citrusy nuance. Some actually say that they don't smell the blueberry muffin, they smell more of like the baked, citrusy, sorbet kind of tart nuances on the opening, so to each their own. And this kind of opening that I'm talking about kind of turns into this very sophisticated, classy, woody, roasted, nutty, chocolatey, warm, spicy, somewhat floral and powdery fragrance. All right, so next from the House of Argos, we have the infamous Triumph of Buckus, which does not need any introduction. A phenomenal, sophisticated, spicy amber gourmand scent. I mean, you got rum, white peach, tart green apple, saffron, tonka bean, patchouli, vetiver, jasmine, tobacco, vanilla, amber, sandalwood, and musk. Some very delicious notes in here. All right, so this one is my new bottle because I wore the heck out of my old one and I finished it. And once they send me the new one, oh, this is so addictive. It's such a beautiful tobacco scent. Very nice. It's just very delicious. And once they send me the new bottle, they encarved my name on the back of it. So this one, I have to be very careful with it and not spray it as much. But God, it's such a beauty, this. And now that I'm realizing I have so many tobacco scents on this list, but they're all of them very gourmand. And this one is also gourmand. So to me, these are really not tobacco fragrances. They're more of like a amber, spicy kind of a scent that are, that have tobacco note as one of their notes in there. But I don't smell this and I'm gonna go like, oh, this is like a pipe tobacco kind of a fragrance, because I smelled tobacco notes on their own and they smell completely different. And we had to talk about this in King Blue when I was talking about that, not King Blue, Royal Tobacco, when I was talking about the actual tobacco scent or tobacco nomad. So this one is more of like a gourmandish kind of a tobacco, and the gourmand elements are very amped up in here, which just makes it a delicious scent. Now, Triumph of Buckus opens up with this smooth, luxurious, fresh mouth watering, sweet, green, sour, kind of fleshy, nectarous, fruity accord, which it comes from green apple and white peach. So I think the opening, the green apple and white peach are very prominent and pronounced, which makes it very beautiful. And it's followed immediately with this complex, sweet, and aromatic chord that brings on succulence and molasses-tinged nuances, which comes from rum. Now, on the heavy notes, to balance out this scent, you have some spicy and leathery chord in here, which comes from saffron, and then you have that delicious 90% coumarin in here, which creates that sweet tobacco almond vibe to this fragrance, which complements the tobacco note in the base really nicely. So Triumph of Buckus is definitely a vanilla, sweet, fruity, warm, spicy, woody, tobacco, amber, rum, boozy, powdery fragrance with a nice dose of patchouli. Definitely a fantastic gourmand tobacco fragrance, perfect for this time of the year. Next, we have from the magical house of Stéphanie Berluca, from their infamous snake collection, La Collection Serpent, Sanddance, which is a boozy, woody, amber, vanilla creation. Again, perfect for this time of the year. Cozy, warm, boozy, inviting, but yet sophisticated and sexy at the same time. Alright, you guys, so you all know me for the love that I have for the house of Stéphanie Berluca. I have all his fragrances, the whole entire house, and this one is probably the best well-balanced gourmand scent in the whole entire list. This one is just a beauty, you guys. It has the perfect balance between gourmandness, warmth, and coziness, but yet delicate, elegant, sexy, and sophisticated at the same time. It's just a masterpiece in that way. Very beautiful. And when I close my eyes, I can literally tell that Stéphanie Berluca, because his signature scent is written all over the scent. It's just incredible. All right, so Sanddance unfolds with the rich complexity of whiskey blending warm spices, sweet juicy mandarin, and the woody depth of coriander. The warmth of whiskey kicks in, bringing sweet notes like caramel and honey with a touch of charred woods for added richness. So the result is a sophisticated, warm, and boozy opening. So as Sanddance opens up on your skin, it evolves into warm, spicy gourmand with notes of amber, benzoin, and tonka bean. The cacao extract sweetens the scent, creating this chocolatey aroma, which is just to die for, very delicious. The base showcases creamy vanilla, balsamic woody tones from Siam benzoin and Sumatra styrax. So you got very exotic notes in here. And of course, a touch of white cedar and patchouli for added depth. All right, to wrap it up for you guys, Sanddance is a woody, warm, spicy, sweet, boozy, chocolate, and whiskey-infused fragrance with a creamy balsamic, aromatic, powdery vanilla twist, which is very delicious, very cozy, intimate, inviting, but yet delicate, sophisticated, classy, and sexy at the same time. Next, from the House of the Harmonist, which I discovered them this year, which the fragrance was Moon Glory, which is a phenomenal, also delicious kind of a floral scent. But I kind of decided to include Hypnotizing Fire to this list, which is a romantic, delicious, spicy gourmand scent that gets tons of compliments. This one is very well balanced in the gourmand department. A delicious, spicy, amber floral scent that has a very unique characteristics due to the usage of a rare note called pimento. All right, so some of you guys are going to be like, are you serious? Hypnotizing Fire as gourmand scent? To me, I mean, just right now, actually something just clicked. Hypnotizing Fire has the same characteristics as Noir Extrême. Not that it smells like it. What I mean with characteristics, that it has that sexiness and gets lots of compliments, and it's sophisticated, but it's delicious at the same time. And you do get that with Noir Extrême by Tom Ford as well, which is delicious. They say it smells like kulfi dessert, which is an Indian dessert. But every time I spray it, a lot of people, they're like, God, this is so sexy. It's so intoxicating. It's very beautiful. And I get kind of the same vibe from this one, but it's a completely different kind of a scent. It's very spicy, and you have that very rare pimento note in here, which makes it very interesting. But Hypnotizing Fire, besides being spicy, it's very rich and it's warm. So you can say it's warm, spicy, and it's also cinnamony as well. And the cinnamon is kind of festive, but it's not as festive as Alta here because the cinnamon is spicier. And that's due to pimento note in here. And there's also there's this sweet and slightly woody undertones reminiscent of black pepper with herbal and green facets, which is definitely the combo of pimento, pepper tree, and cloves at play. Now, two different notes that make Hypnotizing Fire kind of gourmand to me in here is that prominent patchouli note. You see, as the fragrance opens up, you're welcomed by this deep, rich, earthy, sweet, woody, vanillic, and balsamic notes, which they come from a big dose of patchouli. And you also get this sweet and nutty aroma with caramelized and creamy facets reminiscent of caramel and roasted nuts, which is a delicious dose of praline. Also, what makes this fragrance kind of romantic at the same time and adds to the gourmandness is some sweet lemony, powdery, and floral woody Bulgarian rose, which adds to the gourmandness of this scent as well. There's some delicious benzoin and vanilla in the base, accompanied with this intense sweetness and balsamicness and spiciness of opoponax, not to mention how tonka bean makes this fragrance even more gourmand. Alright, you guys, so that's all I have for my gourmand niche fragrances for part 1. Again, I know I went too far and I went into a lot of details again. I swear I tried to be as quick as possible, but I just feel like if I just go so quickly from one to the next, they're all gonna sound the same because they're all gourmand fragrances, and I'm gonna be like, oh my God, this is delicious, and this is sweet, and this. So I feel like I need to kind of talk about the elements and the components of the scent more in detail for you guys to know why I decided to include them in this list. So again, I'm telling you guys, I'm trying and practicing to make it less detailed and more general, so I get more of a general public to enjoy my video than more of fragrance connoisseurs. And that's it, you guys. That's all I have. Thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye.